I'm John Perlin, Chief Medical Officer for HCA and President of the Clinical Services Group. Favorite part of my job is working with people who share a commitment to making care as good as it possibly can be. I grew up knowing I was going to be a doctor, but I had a transformative experience that showed me how health policy could not only achieve the great things that you'd want for an individual.
In locations across the country, in facilities and rooms just like this, HCA Healthcare stands ready to provide care for the world's tiniest patients, the babies and neonates.
Greenland is the beautiful country located at the top of the world, surrounded by the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans. It is the Earth's largest island and lies just off the coast of the Canadian archipelago. The country is an adventure lover's dream. Whether it's kayaking through a fjord, climbing up the Ketil Mountain, hiking through the many open trails, or traveling by dog sled,
Samantha DeMora wanted to flex her photography muscles and expand her camera skills, but needed a model for her shots. Her daughter was out for the day, so the Bordeaux native settled on her precious pooch, Woodstock. In a series of hilarious...
My wife was getting off of work and asked if I wanted to go eat dinner, and I said I wasn't feeling well. I just wanted to stay home and sit on the couch. About 15, 20 minutes later, I got a terrible pain in my chest right here. It felt like someone stabbed me with a knife. I haven't experienced anything like it, so it was very scary, and I knew I had to do something immediately. We ended up going to TriStar Stonecrest ER. When I got to the emergency room, they saw that things...
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark. Begging for scraps.
You know, fresh arugula is one of my favorite salad greens. It is so peppery. It's got such a great flavor to it. And what I like to do is create simple salads.
Dr. Frist's legacy has had a lasting impression on HCA and its culture of giving. He truly believed that good people beget good people.
When I think of HCA's long legacy to community service, I have to start really with Dr. Frist Jr. You know, Tommy's always one to lead by example, and I'm just so proud of that legacy that Tommy really created.
Meteorologist Joe Ansel with a Check Your National Forecast, and we got plenty of things going on across the lower 48. It's kind of a nation divided. Much of the north and northwest bitterly cold. 21 in Minneapolis, and that blowtorch weather continuing in the southeast, where still record heat is out there. Houston at 74, big difference in Dallas. Cut that temperature about in half.
And I would categorize all of us as a little bit spicy.
Some of them you can't tell.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Nursing is the only job you can have where one day can be entirely different for every person.
It definitely is interesting.
We make assignments, we get report, and then we don't stop the rest of the day.
I'd say it's organized chaos.
Yeah. It's a very varied scope of practice.
We see a lot of things that the average person doesn't see.
For everybody, the patient comes first.
Where I work, you're assigned 2 patients, but if my coworker...
In southeastern Oregon, there's still room to roam. It's where the open range meets the open road, and where desert, lakes, and mountains sweep across the horizon. Explore breathtakingly remote landscapes on the Oregon Outback Scenic Bikeway. Oregon has some of the most beautiful...
When the state of Florida was hit with 4 major hurricanes in 2004, many of our employees suffered major losses, and other employees across the company wanted to give to our employees to help them in Florida, from all over the country. From that, we created the Hope Fund, which is a public charity that our employees can contribute to.
If one of our own has a disaster, a crisis.
Grammy-winning superstar Sting is heading to Las Vegas for a summer residency starting in 2020. 16 performances of Sting My Songs will rock out at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace starting May 22nd and going through to September of 2020. I'm just excited by the limitless possibilities of that space and what we can do visually, sound-wise, dancing. It's going to be a Vegas show, he said.
So Jamba Juice was named after the African word jamba, which means to celebrate. So let's jamba! Join us on Get the Dish, where we find out the secrets behind signature dishes from famous chefs and eateries and show you how to recreate them at home. These smoothies are super simple to make. It just requires a handful of ingredients and a blender.
I'm Jessica Hun. I'm a GYN oncology surgeon here at St. Mark's Hospital. Patients that come to see me are typically diagnosed with more complex gynecology or an actual cancer of the uterus or other female organ. These patients are candidates for minimally invasive hysterectomies, and I utilize the robotic platform. When I start a robotic hysterectomy, I place a manipulator into the uterus, and that helps me move the uterus around from the inside. I then put my ports in, so the robotic ports are then placed by the surgeon, and then the robot
started out like a totally normal day.
I love you.
I mean, I guess I was a little sweaty and I was definitely sore. I thought I had gas. Turns out I was having a heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer of American women. So now I take care of my heart and I tell the women in my life to do the same.
Sounds great, by the way.
That's nice, sweetie, but that's...
My friend.
Thank you for calling the Nurse Advice Line. How may I help you?
We have 1 or 2 physicians that are movie star good looking. I said, were they not available this afternoon?
Truthfully and honestly, it takes a village of people to take care of a patient.
All of these different doctors involved, all of the different tests, all the different treatment options.
Most people think about a nurse or a physician because they're the ones who are interacting with the patients the most, but there's a lot of people that go into it.
It's the EVS workers.
Huge design houses like Chanel typically make a grand entrance at the Paris Fashion Week, and this year was no exception. The Grand Palais was transformed into a science fiction fashion theater as the iconic Karl Lagerfeld-led brand took the audience on an intergalactic space ride. The Fall-Winter Collection show was complete with a centerpiece rocket ship, sparkling metallics, twinkling textures, and lots of silver.
Hi, I'm Zoe Saldana, and this is my hero. Everyone has that one special person in their life they call hero. The person who influenced who you are. You're welcome. And if you're lucky, you get to say thank you.
You are our hero.
Which is why my friends and I are showing our gratitude in a very big way.
H2U cares about bringing you good health. Are you trying to cut calories? Well, it's easier than you think. There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound. So to lose 1 pound a week, you need to cut your intake by 500 calories a day. Some simple ideas are replace buttered toast with a bowl of oatmeal. Choose a piece of fruit over a candy bar.
I'm Dr. Peter Fisher here at St. Mark's Hospital in Salt Lake City. We're proud of the robotics program that we have built in this hospital, and I'm talking today about robotic surgery for prostate cancer. and specifically the procedure called robotic-assisted laparoscopic prostatectomy. A Foley catheter will be inserted into your bladder to drain urine. Your surgeon will make a small incision near your belly button and insert a plastic tube called a port. This port is airtight, and carbon dioxide gas will be pumped into the abdomen through this port. That gas inflates the inside of the belly, giving your surgeon more room to see the internal environment and move surgical tools. After your abdomen is inflated,